Group 10 is a pre-resource stage exploration company. However, we are working now modeling 3 drill-defined mineralized zones in Montana. So we're looking to quickly this year move to that resource stage company status. Today we're going to talk very exclusively about Stillwater West. That is very much the focus. And I think you'll see the reason for that as we get into it. It's a rare land position and a fantastic database. We also have the Black Lake Drayton Gold Project in Ontario, where we adjoin Treasury Metals. And in the Yukon, we have the Kluane PGE Nickel Copper Project, where we adjoin Nickel Creek Platinum. These are all district scale assets. They're all adjacent to some of the best examples of deposits or mines of their type. And a key point, we have 100% ownership on all projects, and that sets us aside from some of our peers. All earn-ins are complete on these projects, and we bring in substantial databases and new geologic models and a world-class team. And with that, you've got the potential for world-class discoveries. Focus very much on Stillwater, and I'm going to run through a shortened deck here to show some of the great things that we're getting into in Montana. I guess the point on the other 2 assets is that they're effectively for sale at this point. We are looking to monetize as part of our focus on Stillwater. We have a fantastic management team. And I invite you to do a deeper dive on our deck, on our website. All these materials are available on the website. I will call out Greg Johnson, who's our chair. He was a big part of Nova Gold. They, of course, went from 10 cents a share to $2 billion in market cap. And we see a similar footprint here in Montana for that kind of level of success. Myself, I'm founder of the company, and I've been in mining since 1990 and in exploration since 2003. The technical team, similarly, world-class, and it's the strength of the Stillwater asset that's let us attract people of this caliber. We have Dr. Craig Bowe as our senior geological advisor. He was underground at Stillwater in the 80s and has been all over the world on similar magmatic systems. It's fabulous to bring him back to Stillwater. And these 3 names are key parts of the teams that were active on our claims before we were there. And gave us a lot of our database. So that continuity is really important. Mike Austenson in particular drilled the 10,000 meters, 12,000 meters of core that we have in the core shack. So as we bring this model in from South Africa, this is not historic in the eyes of the exchange. And Justin Ledrew is the vendor of the project, and that's how a junior came to own half of such an iconic district. We were blessed to bring in Dave Broughton at an early stage. He, of course, was Ivanhoe's chief geologist, and the key point is that he is credited with co-discovering Ivanhoe's Flat Reef deposit in South Africa. So that was a huge stamp of validation and gave us really good early insight on how to explore these systems. That is our main parallel. Stillwater Complex is a very large magmatic complex. As such, it is a nickel copper sulfide base. This is the nickel sulfide that Tesla and others are looking for energy storage uses. The district is known for the strength of its palladium and platinum mines. These are the largest mines outside of South Africa and Russia and the highest grade in the world, full stop. We also add rhodium to that, and that's something that's getting a lot of attention. Rhodium's at $20,000 US an ounce now, based on continuing supply deficits, which also applies to palladium, actually, as a side note. Rhodium is particularly strategic because there's essentially no mine supply in the US. We also have cobalt, also with a co-product capacity. Of course, the Congo is dominant for cobalt supply. And we offer 3 levels of exposure to gold as well. We have gold as a co-product across that Stillwater basket. We also have a drill-defined area of high-grade gold at Stillwater. We've got some good handle on expanding that. And then we've got the high-grade gold project in Ontario. So we do have some exposure to the gold space. Speaking broadly across the Stillwater package, we're probably about 1/3 nickel value and 1/3 palladium value, and then 1/3 the other, just to give a frame of reference. So the objective here is to become a primary US-based source of battery and precious metals. And this Flat Reef deposit model, this polymetallic blend that we have, is very rare in the world and is seen best in our peers in South Africa that we'll touch on. Certainly rare in North America. 5 of our target commodities have been listed by the US government as strategic, and they're looking to secure domestic supplies. We're doing that from not only some of the best rocks in the world to be pursuing these commodities, but also beside 3 mines and a smelter in a pro-mining district. We're bullish on the outlook for essentially all of these commodities, and it's marvelous that a great many of them are in a bull market or showing strong signs of coming into a bull market. Nickel is moving up nicely, platinum, palladium and rhodium are already up based on sustained supply deficits. And Brian had excellent words about copper here a minute ago. There's a look at our land position. It's rare for a junior to share a district like this with a major. It's us and Sibanye in yellow and gray respectively. This is the Stillwater district, and it's very comparable to the Bushveld complex of South Africa, a big layered magmatic system, very prospective for our target commodity. The district is known for that JM Reef deposit, the highest grade palladium platinum deposit in the world. And Sibanye operates 3 mines and a smelter complex in the district. We have Stillwater West there, and Stillwater East just announced a couple of days ago as an expansion of our work in the district. We own this 100%. We take a look through a slice in the rocks. It's a layered magmatic system, about 8 kilometers thick. In the upper portion, you get the reef deposits, and the JM Reef of our neighbor is situated right there in the lower portion of that banded series. We have the Picket Pin Reef above them, and our focus is very much on those big Platte Reef systems in the lower part of the complex. This is excellent country for mining, and we're glad to be there. It's also a big property at 25 kilometers in span. Taking a quick look at a cross-section, again in the green on the right-hand side, you get the banded series, and the magmatic pulses are very visible and make these thin reef deposits. We have 6 reef-type target areas at Stillwater, and that would be targeting the JM Reef style of mineralization, such as our neighbor, and then the parallel in South Africa being the Bransky Reef. Our focus is very much on the Platte Reef style deposits, these bigger magmatic events that happen in the lower part of these systems. And the target here would be Anglo-American's Mahalaquena mine, Ivanhoe's Platte Reef mine, big copper nickel sulfide disseminated systems, tens to hundreds of meters thick, and enriched in PGEs and gold. We're blessed with a substantial drill database, and that has led us to drill define mineralization. 5 zones that we'll touch on, 3 of them are shown here, and that's given us a leg up. There's a quick look at the 6 reef type target areas in red and the 8 Platte Reef style target areas that we've worked up, compiling the database to date. This is a conductivity survey, electromagnetic survey showing conductivity with the drill database laid over top of that. Zooming in on the most active areas, obviously given so many target areas, strategy becomes a key point. And we're focused on delivering resources at those 3 names across the bottom of the screen there, Discovery, Camp, and HGR. These are holding together very nicely in our models. We've now drilled all 3 as of this year, and it's a key priority for us to deliver inferred resources on these targets this year. There's some drill results from last year, typical of what we see across this 25-kilometer package. We've got hundreds of meters at 1.9 grams per ton platinum equivalent, and within that, typically a 30-meter sweet spot that's running higher grade. Lots of 0.34 nickel, 0.15 copper, and then within that percent level nickel as well. Seeing some very good nickel tenor in certain areas as well. So it bodes well for metallurgy. Crescent is an earlier target area, and Pine over on the west is the high-grade gold area. Really nice gold hits, and we've recently expanded that potential with that conductive high that's never been drill tested to the west from there. In terms of our work, last year we did a fantastic induced polarization survey, biggest ever in the district. It lit the rocks up down to 800 meters and gave us fantastic targeting opportunities. And we drilled 5 holes at Chrome Mountain. None of these results are out yet. They're coming quickly. We're doing full suite assays, including rhodium, and that takes time, and we look forward very much to getting out the images from the IP survey and also the drill results. We're permitted on 50 pads, and we're looking forward to doing bigger programs in the coming year. We've moved quickly at Stillwater. We got it in 2017, tripled the land position, drilled it 2019 and 2020. and we're poised to deliver our first resources on that in short order here this year. We're prioritizing targets, looking forward to getting news out, and news may also include, aside from exploration results, deals on non-core assets. We're sitting at about a $58 million market cap Canadian. That is a fraction of where we think we should be. If you look at some of our peers with big bulk mineable nickel projects, it's essentially impossible to find that Platreef combination in North America, so you sometimes have to put some of our peers together to arrive at a number. We think the market is beginning to understand that, and that's reflected in our increasing chart there. Key point about cash is that we're funded through to what we need to do in terms of delivering exploration results and resources, with about $3 million in the bank. And we've got about $11 million of in-the-money warrants and options. So we've got some really good conversations underway now concerning next steps and continuing larger programs this year. We're excited about the targets we have and the commodities we're into, and we're looking forward to bigger programs. I guess just touch quickly on shareholder composition here with my last few seconds. We've seen the institutional base grow very nicely. That was essentially zero about 4 years ago, and we're sitting about 22% now, and that includes some big, well-known US and Canadian funds and European. And management, including myself, we hold about 26% of the company, and that's always an important thing to look for in these juniors.